So I'll be analyzing Mr. Plum's conclusion about investing in a company that manufactures electronic devices. So before evaluating the conclusion, I would like to describe what the actually graph represents. So in the horizontal axis, we have the time measured in years from 2000 and 2025, sorry. On the vertical axis, we have the percentage of Americans who own this type of electronic device. So this graph is measuring a market penetration. That means that the percentage of the population that already owns the product. It is important to notice that the graph is not showing the annual sales, the profits of the company, the demands, and more importantly, that I want to make a remark this is the future customer behavior. This graph is only showing us how the ownership has changed over time. So I'm gonna explain right now Mr. Plum's conclusion. So Mr. Plum observes that approximately 60% of Americans already have the device. And he also noticed that the trend line has a slope of approximately 3.58, let's round it, percentage points per year. Since about 120 million Americans still don't know have the product, he concludes that the company will continue gaining around 10 million new customers every year. And based on this reasoning, he predicts that about 50 additional million sales, that's 50 million additional sales will be in the next 5 years, and concludes that investing in this company is a slam dunk. So the main problem here is that although Mr. Plum's conclusion sounds reasonable, it is not supported by the graph, because his main mistake is interpreting the historical trend as a guaranteed prediction of the future growth. And the graph only describes that what happened already, not what is going to happen next. So when interpreting the graph, Mr. Plum makes several mistakes. First, he confused the rate of change with a future total amount. And the slope only tell us how quickly the market penetration has increased over the years, but it doesn't tell us how many devices will be definitely sold in the future. And these two are completely different ideas, because this historical rate of change cannot automatically be projected into the future. It doesn't guarantee that this will be the same amount in 10 years or 20 years. Second, I think that Mr. Plum assumes that the trend line is linear, and the future growth will also remain linear because the trend line is linear. However, a trend line is just simply a mathematical model that summarizes past data, and it is really useful for describing historical behavior, but it doesn't guarantee that the future will follow the exactly same pattern. Another point, a third point that he ignores is the market saturation, because as more people purchase the device, fewer customers remain, or potential customers remain, because the market penetration cannot exceed 100%. So as more people own the devices, as the ownership increases, the growth usually begins to be more slow. And in fact, if we carefully examine the graph, the data points in the later years begin to we decrease a little bit. And this suggests that the growth rate might be already decreasing. Finally, Mr. Plums assumes that every person who does not currently own the device will eventually become a customer. The graph does not support this assumption because some people might never purchase the product because of the price, competition, preference, or many other business factors that are not represented in this graph.